like to preface those things. All right, so a few things now that we are here. Hopefully you read the description or you have at least an understanding of what's going on in this call if you haven't been here before. What we do is we put 3 dames in the hottie seat, and what we're looking for is those who either came prepared with a challenge, something that they're facing right now, or a goal that they're very clear on and working toward and would love to have some outside eyes on and outside fuel on. Or you may be here because you want to contribute to those who are in the hottie seat today. All 3 are perfect. So what I need you to do is in the chat, I just need 2 things. I will give you an example and I will put it in the correct chat. So I will say, Megan, I will say challenge or goal or contribute or contribute. However you want to say contribute. And then I'm going to say the level of urgency. So 1 means this is barely happening for me. It's barely audible in terms of a challenge. It's barely refined in terms of a goal. That's the only thing I need a rating for. That's okay, Precious. You're getting excited. And 5 would be it's extremely painful and I need to figure it out. Now, I invite you, if we have more 5s, I will put everybody's name in a wheel of names. I've had some dames who are like, well, I put a 4 because it's not like killing me, but I really would have liked to have masterminded it. It's like, put it at a 5. If it's a 5, put it at a 5. If it's not, then, you know, it's probably not even a challenge that really needs to be looked at today. So if you're contributing, I don't need a number because you're here with 5 to contribute. So if you came because you'd like to be in the hot seat, or you might like to potentially be, then put your name, the challenge or goal. That's it. I don't need what it is. I just need challenge or goal, the word, and then the level. Awesome. And yeah, everybody will be contributing to everybody else, whether or not you're sitting in the hot seat or not today. So that we know. Thank you. The results are coming in. We are tabulating your results. Apparently it's a singing day for me today. Let's see.
You keep singing and I'll keep listening to everything everyone's singing or saying is singing, so that we're all singing, listening or listening.
Thank you for keeping it going, Jen.
All that.
Yes.
And you're brave to sing. Nobody wants to hear me sing.
I'm a singer.
We just like to hear our voices in different ranges and things.
We could talk like this. We could do a mastermind like Chris Stapleton.
That's correct. All right, let's see. Do we have Stephanie Gunther? Do you have yours in here or do you want to? Oh, yes, you are. Stephanie is a 5. Got it. We got Stephanie and Stephanie today. Love the Stephs. Stephanie's. If I could spell Stephanie, not Stephanie. Okay. All right. Let me just double check my math here. Oops, I got some people in the waiting room. Hello. Do your job, Conter.
Girl, they said we're trying to get up in here. We outside.
That's right. We're on the outside waiting to come in. Hello, ladies.
There's Miss Hillary.
Hello, ladies. I need to remove this AI. Hi, Kat. Hi, Hillary. Hi, Tina. All right. So, did any of the 3 of you come with a 5, burning 5 level, DEF CON 5, need to mastermind a challenge or a goal today? Okay, I see a lot of no's. Okay, cool. Amy Bowen has a 4. All right. Stephanie Puttock, you are a 4.5/5. That's very attorney-like of you. Can you give me a number there? Is it a 4 or is it a 5? I want you to commit.
If someone has something painful that's affecting them, I think mine has just been sitting month after month after month, and it really is a 5. But in my head, it's a 4, but I need to make it a 5 or else I'm gonna have a, you know,
5,
a tough.
5, 5,
Yeah,
5.
Okay,
5.
5. And
Five.
5 has had 5 as well. I
5.
saw.
Okay.
Well,
Okay.
but if you've been sitting on it, that's like having a do you see the TikTok video where that person had their foot up and they pressed on it and a giant spike came out of their foot? It's like walking around on a nail. At some point, you just ignore it.
Correct.
5.
Okay, we got it. Thank you. All right, let me just make sure I've got everyone. I want to be fair. Yeah, Stephanie, thank you. I'm really trying to be cognizant of that too, that I'm only putting in people who haven't been in the hottie seat. So I just want to verify and double check. Okay,
I
cool.
don't think I have.
So we're going to do the wheel of names. So I've got, I'm gonna do Stephanie Potic, Precious, Darby, and Amy Bowen in the wheel of names. So that means it's going to go randomly. And I'm going to show you the wheel of names as I do it so that you don't think that I'm cheating, because I'm not. All right, I got everybody's name in here. I'm going to do the wheel of names. Here we go.
Cheater.
I know, I touch a cheater. Okay, Precious, you're up first. All right, hold on. Let me just get back to my control. Yay, winner. First, now I can't find my controls to stop. Oh, I wasn't even sharing my screen. That was anticlimactic. All right, Precious, you are up, my friend. So here's how this works, ladies. I'm going to use my timer. Precious is going to take 2 minutes to tell us what her business is and what she does, and then to describe her. Did you have a challenge, sweetheart? Is that what you're here for?
Yes.
Okay, she's going to describe her challenge, and what she's going to do is get us funneled down to a burning question or a question or a thing that we can help her solve. So she might have 7 different things, but she's going to help us, and I'm going to help her get filtered down to one thing that is her ultimate question for today to solve. And then we'll take 3 minutes to do clarifying questions. Those clarifying questions are just to be, yes, that would be helpful. Thank you, Hillary. Clarifying questions, ask questions that help you so that you can give Precious recommendations. So make sure that they're applicable to the challenge that she's facing, because she wants to focus on that challenge. Meaning, if she asks us about social media and you want to ask her a question about her accounting, that's not applicable. So ask her the question about the thing that she's wanting help on. It's not about what we want to give her help on. It's what she wants help with. Does that make sense? Cool. And then after the 3 minutes of clarifying questions, Precious will mute and we'll give her 5 minutes of our ideas, and we will just rain on her with suggestions. So for Precious and for anyone else who goes into the hottie seat today, what we get to give to Precious is the gift of our eyeballs on the screen, the gift of our distractions completely removed, the gift of our total presence with her, the gift and the other people in the hottie seat. It can be a little nerve-wracking, and we want to just pour love into these people as they are expressing what they're going through. Okay. And yeah, you have your piece of paper so you can write down notes, so you can remember things. We try to use the mechanical hands for reactions so that I can easily see who has a question. So that's this down in the reactions. You'll see the raise hand option. So when Precious is done explaining, for those 3 minutes of clarifying questions, we'll use the raise hand. And for the 5 minutes of suggestions, we'll use the raise hand. So basically we're playing a game show here, and your hand is on the buzzer and you're ready. And one other thing, I would love to hear the quieter voices. So if you find yourself being the one to ask a lot of questions, or you find yourself being the one to give all the suggestions, let's hold back for a second and just make sure that we get everyone's voices, because sometimes us extroverts, I'm guilty of this. It's like, oh, I have so many ideas. Okay, well, there are some people that take a little bit process differently, or they need a little time. So we're going to just hear all voices today. Awesome. I think my dissertation is done. Precious, you are up, my friend.
Okay.
2 minutes.
All right. Good afternoon, Queens, and it's loud here, so I hope you don't hear everything in the background. So anyway, I am Precious Williams. I'm the founder and CEO of Perfect Pitches by Precious, where I teach the art and science of killer pitching, international professional speaker, corporate trainer, all that good stuff. So I just wrote my 5th book. It's called Rainmaking 101 from Day One. And we have a training program component to it. And this came to me when my law school and other law schools started bringing me in to teach their 1Ls and 2Ls how to interview for the job they're doing, or how to attract visibility to them in this very bad job place for them. And so I was thinking about all the things that I didn't get when I was an attorney, all the things that never made sense to me, that make sense to me as an entrepreneur. So my dilemma comes in right now because my book comes out April 18th. And I want to make sure that I'm in the right space. So for example, I told you law schools are reaching out to me. So are law firms. So are business schools. So I kind of feel pulled in a whole bunch of different directions. And I'm just kind of stressed about it. Like, it's good to be wanted, but I know I need to start somewhere. So I would prefer to start with law firms. And so I wanted to see if anyone has connections to attorneys who I can talk to. And I don't even know if that makes sense. That's how all of a sudden nervous I got. And I'm like, oh my God, this is really happening. Okay. Does that make any sense to anybody?
Yeah, it's okay. We'll get you there. So you are, correct me if I'm wrong, you are about to launch your 5th book. It is,
Right.
Can you slow down with the title again?
It's called Rainmaking 101 from Day One.
Okay. And so it is business development tactics for lawyers, or what is how do you?
Yes, it is. So it is business development for attorneys, but especially those from year 1 to year 4. Usually you come in as a worker bee, just getting work done, and you miss out on building the type of relationships, knowing where to be and having a step-by-step process, because after a certain number of years, you're going to go because you don't know how to develop clientele and develop a funnel for yourself.
Okay, so you're wondering where to start. Is that correct? Like what is the first step, or what if we could help you with any one thing today to resolve that? We will give you connections, but what can we help you resolve or solve today?
What you can help me solve is, do I focus more on legal organizations, law firms, or law schools? Because I feel pulled in too many different directions.
Okay, perfect.
Does that even make sense? I'm all
Yes.
over the place.
We're going to ask clarifying questions if it doesn't.
Okay,
But
Wayne.
do I focus on legal organizations, law firms, or law schools first? Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So we have 3 minutes, ladies, for clarifying questions. Tina.
Who is already reaching out to you? You said you were pulled in a number of different directions, but who is actually coming to you?
Law schools and legal organizations, like bar associations.
Got it.
But Amy Valdivia.
This is exciting to me because I do a lot of networking with attorneys, by the way. When you're getting these phone calls from the legal organizations and schools, what background checks are you doing on them? Or what are they offering their attorneys? Have you done that?
I can't understand what you're saying because I feel like you sounded really computery. I don't know if it's something wrong. I'm at the office, so I didn't understand what you asked me.
Can you try to ask the question again, Amy?
Was my audio really bad?
It wasn't for me.
Okay, I'll send it in the chat. Just clarifying.
Okay.
Okay. Stephanie Potic.
Are you looking to get paid?
Of course.
So, okay, so then the next question is what will be how will you get paid? Is it speaking, a program?
So the way I want to come in is with the speaking and the training program with the books.
Okay. Got it. Thank
Hillary.
Other than being slightly overwhelming, why can't you do both? Is there some reason why you can't talk to the Bar Association for Georgia today and this attorney group next week?
No, it's just a matter of priorities because it's not the only thing that I do.
Okay.
Awesome. Darby.
Precious, a couple of different thoughts with respect
A
to.
great question.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, with respect to the schools, so you get paid by the schools to train, but are these young new attorneys also future clients? So like you'd be building a pipeline of up and coming clients?
No, what? I never thought about that.
That's brilliant, brilliant, brilliant.
That was.
Mm-hmm.
And another idea, just thought, I have a similar thing that when I'm in the hot seat, we'll talk about schools and stuff, but also, are you able to scale and add like a staff or team member that can come in and teach for you so that you can scale?
Cool. Do you have any thoughts on that, Precious?
I do. So, I have the Perfect Pitch Academy going on right now. So I'm training the next generation of pitch masters in this space, but no one can do what I do right now for the schools or the organizations. You know what I mean? Because your Perfect Pitch Academy started in February. It's only April. So there's a lot of moving parts. And yes, I have a small team, but there's no one who can do what I do right now that I would trust to be able to do this.
And by the way,
But I
Darby,
love it.
a perfect thing that's already a suggestion for Precious. She gets it. So awesome. Beautiful. One more question because the timer went off. So Jen, you have a clarifying question?
Correct me if I'm wrong, Precious. Do attorneys require CLEs, like continuing education units?
Yes, they do.
And
Yes, they
could
do.
what you're teaching qualify as that?
Yes, it can.
Okay.
So that's why the organizations, some of the bar associations reach out because they're like, we need you for
Have you
this.
gone through that process yet to get the CLE certification?
I have not with everything on my plate. I'd be lying to you, no, but I
So
love that.
How long does that take?
I don't know because no one's ever said I had to go through a process to become CLE certified to teach attorneys.
Okay.
Every state is different.
Yeah, there you go. So, okay, now we have time for suggestions. So Nancy, if you had a question, you can just turn it into a suggestion if you'd like. But we have 5 minutes for suggestions, and Precious, I'm just going to mute you, hun, so you can take notes, and that way there's no background noise. Okay, cool. Christine Laria.
Hey there. I say Precious, two things. One is my sister works for a firm in New York, Simpson Thatcher something with a B. She works in continuing legal education and helps all the attorneys get all the things that they need for their certifications. So I'd be happy to connect you two by email. And then the other is I'm really looking at, like, when I come to discerning the priority, I have to really tap into whatever your language is, if it's what lights you up, if it's what brings you joy, if it's what feels like your vibrational yes. And I'm looking at these things, and while they're similar, if it were me in my life, I would look at where is my heart like drawn to go, because I know that's going to have all of the juice and all of the factors to make it fly the farthest and bring me to the people I want to be with. So like that brain part that spins going, but what about this or what about that? And like coming right here. And yeah, you got it.
Yes, Stephanie Potic.
I love that, Christine. I made a note for myself. If I get on the hot seat, I'll definitely bring that one up. So Precious, I would, just from experience, it's probably going to be easier to stick with the organizations and the law schools because you know, it's a no-brainer. You already have experience and a track record. I think, you know, having been associated with different firms, they're not looking to spend the money. It probably would be a little bit more difficult. So if you have to focus, if it were me, I'd probably look at firms last and then maybe think about getting in the way of the CLE, you know, because although they want business development. Oh, and that was the other thing. I would couch it as business development, not perfect pitch, because I think a law firm would definitely be more interested in business development to bring in business and have their attorneys learn what to do. Good luck.
Yes, spoken by another attorney. Gotta love it. All right, Kat Stancic.
Thought there were like more people in front of me. So this is more of like a future-ish kind of anticipatory thing, which is there's no one who can do what you do, but there's a lot of people who can help you be even bigger than who you are. And so I would really start looking at documenting what that secret sauce is so that you don't have to experience this again and you don't have to be in a place where you feel like you have to make a choice because you're clearly a center of abundance. And so this way you can easily have someone step in. So I would look at really starting to look at that lead generation and conversational piece and start capturing all those scripts so that someone can step in. And maybe even whoever is in your academy who's that superstar, like start grooming them to be, to allow for you to scale. Because I just see this being something that you're going to experience again.
And Precious, we have other former attorneys in the Dames who could be great for candidates for that. Like this can be something that they can have as a niche in their business. So yes, Nancy, effort. And not that there's another Nancy here, but.
Okay, Precious, this is your 5th book. So what did you do with the other books, and did you develop something or utilize it in a similar fashion where you had some groups that you wanted to target, some things you wanted, groups you wanted to speak to? What can you tap into from what you did before and what you would like to do better?
Awesome. Amy V.
Stephanie actually started me off. Change your language. Attorneys speak a different language. And I learned that home loans is one thing and files is one thing. When I talk to attorneys, it's always about a case. Little things. I spent time with the attorneys at their organizations, just listening to their language. So you're a book writer. When you decide to change your language to speak lawyerly, to speak attorney, then maybe that book will be crafted using their language. And then that's the physical document that you send off to them because they like to receive material in the mail. I found that they like the physical marketing.
Awesome.
In their language.
Beautiful. All right, 9 seconds left. The only thing that I will add, Precious, these are amazing ideas. Incredible, ladies. Holy cow. You have a community full of power partners in the Dames, and people like Amy, who's a mortgage broker, people like all the people who say that attorneys are their power partners are your power partners. So Nancy Effort, who's in finance, like all the people who are in finance, who are in those surrounding companies or surrounding industries, rather, they're your power partners. So once you figure out a plan, the next micro plan I would create is how do I go to my power partners? And how do I have my power partners? How do I serve them first? How do I serve them first? And then how do I have them help me get connected to who I want to be connected to? So awesome. Everyone, let's give Precious a round of applause. Well done. Awesome. All right. So because of the levels of urgency, we're going to go next with Stephanie Potic and then Darby next after that. All right. So Miss Stephanie Potic.
Okay, thank you. So
2 minutes to describe to us your situation and go.
Okay, hopefully you guys can distill something out of this. So essentially, I have my legal practice and I love it. And I love working with clients. It's all about brand protection and what I can do to help keep them out of trouble and let them get more business. I have created a side course that is not legal advice. It's called Protect for Success. And I created it a couple of years ago and it's sitting there. And it's one of those things where it might be too much to digest. So I'm looking to figure out ways to pare it back, make it more, I basically my goal and my challenge is to get to the people who need it. I'm tech averse. So I think that stops me mentally when I come up with ideas of what I want to do. So I'm really just trying to figure out how to take the knowledge that I have and put it in a digestible form, because as Christine said earlier, what gives me the most joy when I can help someone spot an issue and educate them and keep them out of trouble. So if, especially the smaller people, they can't afford an attorney. So it's one of those things where I want to figure out the most. Oh, bless you. I want to figure out
Yourself, please.
I want to figure out, I mean, it's twofold, and I'm sorry now, I understand Precious. It's like when you're on the hottie seat. I need to figure out the most effective way to create the products, and tech scares me. So if anyone has recommendations of someone who puts up online courses or something digital, I would love suggestions. And I don't know if it's marketing help. I just need to figure out what I should be doing or how I can actually do it.
Okay, perfect. So 3 minutes for clarifying questions, ladies. Darby's ready. Darby's got a question.
Yeah, so when you're onboarding clients, do you have a process for figuring out if they're going to be a good candidate to use your services, or if this particular course would be a better fit for them?
That's a great question. Yeah, it's easy to figure that out. And actually, some people who weren't ready to hire me, I actually offered them the course at a discounted rate. So potential clients, that's a really great suggestion.
Okay. Kat.
So I really look at 3 areas. So is the problem that you're experiencing in attracting people to the course? Is it actually selling the course? Or is it in delivering the course, meaning getting people to consume it and to get results?
Probably more attracting and selling.
Okay.
Because
sorry.
The people who have gone through it have said that there was a lot in there, that it was easy to understand, and they were, it really did help them.
Cool. Sorry, who's Stephanie Gunther?
Hi, sorry if I missed this earlier. Can you explain a little bit more in detail about what clients get out of the course, like what their end result is after they've gone through the course, or what that desired end result is?
So yeah, the end result, to be honest, I wish I had answered those questions originally, but now really the end result is, okay, I'm starting a business, or I'm a business owner, and I'm running my business and I have no idea about legal. How do I protect my brand? How do I own my intellectual property? If it's a product, licensing versus manufacturing. So it's really years of business and legal experience. And the result is to come out more confident and to go into deals knowing, to be able to protect your business and know how to protect yourself.
Megan, you're muted.
Sorry about that. I'm talking to myself. Stephanie, you said that you know who needs it, and you kind of described their psychographics, but who specifically, what size business needs this? And like, what do you know about that?
So that's a good question, and that could really be the issue. The people who really need it are the ones starting out, the entrepreneurs, the inventors that they don't know. However, this information is also great for people who, their businesses, even a few million. I mean, I've actually spoken with business owners who are running their business and they have no idea that they should protect their brand.
Yeah.
Let me get a cease and desist.
Right, exactly. That's it.
So I have a 2-part question, just follow up from before. So how many people have gone through the course, and how many did you sell versus you comped / went through it for free?
Oh, interesting. I would have to go back and look at the numbers, But I think most of them, I personally, it was, you know, nothing came from the marketing, or very few came from the marketing directly. It was more me having to kind of go through what the benefit would be. And then,
But how many people went through your course that you've
Just
that
roughly,
paid or
like
didn't pay?
20, 10, 30, 50, just a rough guess.
so that, yeah, that I comped, I guess 10.
And those are the only 10 that have gone through your course so far?
No, there were others. There were others, but
But
Okay,
how
so-
many others? It makes a difference in terms.
it's a small number. It's definitely a small number. So
And then
I'm
how are you driving
sure.
traffic now? Like, what are you doing now
So I
that's not
stopped.
working or working?
I stopped. I actually stopped because I'm debating if I rethink everything or if I should just continue with, you know, with what it is, or if I should rework it.
So what did you try? Because I don't want all of us to like give you suggestions on things you've already tried that didn't work.
So yeah, so I mean, I've done a lot of social posting, and I also started doing ads. I did LinkedIn ads, which drew a lot of traffic, but didn't give me the results that I wanted. And I think the landing page is quite good. I just think there's a disconnect between, you know, what I know people need versus what they think they need, and that maybe it's too overwhelming.
Okay, we have the 3 minutes is up. So one thing I have to ask that is an energetic question. What is it specifically that you doubt about this course, Stephanie?
That's a really good question. I think it's amazing. We spent so much time curating just the information that people will need and make it easy to understand. And that's the one thing that everyone who did go through it said, that it was super helpful, easy to understand, that, you know, it was fun watching.
Stephanie, can you answer my question?
I'm sorry.
What is it specifically that you doubt about your course?
I guess that people want it because it's been hard to get them to commit to it.
Okay, awesome. Thank you for that. Sorry, I just have to get,
Please, thank you.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
So we will now turn to suggestions. So I'm just gonna put you on mute, Stephanie, and if you want to take notes, and I'm recording this, so if you're someone who just likes to absorb, you can listen to the recording, so that works. All right, Darby, can you not ask a question, but form it as a suggestion? Okay, awesome.
Yeah, so Stephanie, I mean, it's kind of a question. Did you make like a teaser video that gives like a sample rather than saying, here, jump right into this course and commit to the thing? Do you have a video, a link that you can literally just spew out there, and it will explain who needs this and why do you need this and what's in it? Very succinct summary so that someone gets excited about going to it and then goes to the next step and signs up for the course.
So that it's easier for the person in the hot seat to process. When we're in suggestions, please don't ask questions. Just say, here's my suggestion. So we got it. She can read between the lines, but it just makes it really easy for that person who's sitting in this intense spot to take the suggestion. Awesome. Nancy.
My suggestion, if you're not already, would be to somehow link up with your local SBA, where they do provide education and things for people that are new in business, small businesses, where you may be able to get some entities to pay for things, because, you know, the entrepreneur, as much as they would want to pay for it, sometimes they won't. But this could be somebody else promoting your class, but also promoting you, may give you access to more potential clients.
Awesome. Thank you, Nancy. Becca. Hello, Becca.
Hi. My suggestion would, after listening to you, and I know we didn't get to like dive totally deep, but to really get clear on what the problem is that you're solving with the course, like very clear, like dig and be able to say that in like one sentence. The problem that this course solves is this. And maybe it's by going through, talking to those 10 people and asking them that question and then coming up with that common thread. But it didn't seem that clear. And then that might help you with a bunch of stuff like marketing and a whole bunch. So that's where it's just getting really clear on what problem it's solving.
Awesome. Stephanie Gunther.
Hi, to really top right on top of that, Becca, I would use a structure like a buyer journey to go through that exact process, because you can assess each stage of the buying or assessment stages that buyers go through when they're looking at something or becoming aware of a new product. Because in the bottom part of the buyer journey is like, how do we move them to the next stage? And those are really your marketing ideas that you can, once you can get into their psychographics and their past experiences and their pain points, you can really start to understand how to move them into some sort of marketing funnel that might help. And then my second thought would be to partner with other IP attorneys and also brand agencies. As a branding agency, there's tons of clients that definitely need IP help or trademark help or licensing help that still just don't want to do it or pay for it. And so those types of power partners for that could be a really great resources, because we have half of our clients are like, yeah, we're good, it's fine. And so that's a great downsell for that.
Amen. Not only are your branding and marketing people and the dames your best power partners here, but they're giving you their free advice right now. So it's pretty awesome. All right, Jen Koken.
So I found the page and it totally spoke to me. You have a vision worth protecting. $595 for a 6-week course. That's like I'm a yes to that. But I looked on your website, Stephanie, I couldn't find it anywhere. I could not find it any place. And so there's no link. I mean, that would be the initial thing that I would say, is have a link in your current website with that language where you have the box in your video, entrepreneurs click here or something like that. So it's easy to find. That's number one, because the 2 questions you ask, how to protect your personal intellectual property and determine if you own your idea, that comes up with me right now, where I'm paying a lot of money to attorneys to research things. And I might just get out of a 6-week course where I would answer my own question. So number 1, listed on your website. Number 2, speaking. I think this is a great opportunity to identify conferences where entrepreneurs go to those conferences and give a 45-minute talk on, the top, whatever 3 things you have to think about, right? 1 slide, 5 minutes. I don't need to go into that, but then you can be giving them an opportunity to buy that course for $595. You just can't find it on your website. It's not obvious. So that's the place I'd start. Second would be speaking. Third, podcasts.
Awesome. Kat Stancic.
So I'm going to be very direct because we don't have a lot of time. And a marketer's opinion is like everybody, right? Like everybody has their thing. So you take what's valuable to you. Protecting your success isn't talking to the ideal client that you have. So I would change the title to looking at monetizing their signature system. You would want to find a strategy that you love to do, like Jen mentioned. So I would start looking at that. I have a training in the Dames portal that might be helpful. And I'm happy to give you some feedback on the languaging that you have. It's very fluffy. It's not very concrete. So I really don't know what I'm taking away from that sales page.
Awesome. Beautiful. All right. The time is up. And the last thing that I will add, these are, again, such brilliant suggestions, you guys. I hope that you all come back to these calls, because this is freaking amazing what you get on these calls. So, because everyone is just pouring out their hearts. So number 1, Stephanie, there's a domino that needs to be knocked over here, and that's the energetic block. There is something that is hiding underneath everything that is keeping you from wanting to put this out there. And I suggest that before you try to put any solutions in place, that you spend some time going within to figure out what that block is. Once you can unleash that block, all of this is going to become a lot easier for you, and you won't be having to like bash your head up against the wall to say what's going on. The next thing that I would really look at, you said several times, I'm tech averse. And I think what you could do, there are plenty of people out there that will do this, is put out there like, hey, I'm looking for a marketing and technology partner to help me with an endeavor. And if you were to do some kind of like a profit share or something along those lines with them, you could say, hey, I'll give you whatever % of the proceeds. I will sell it, and, and have the people who will go through it with you and help you make these changes and help you do the technology and help you do all that. There are marketing partners who will do that. So consider that as an option. And well done. Very, very beautiful. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, all of you. I'm definitely going to watch this recording. It's so helpful. Thank you. I really appreciate the honest feedback. And Megan, not to answer now, but if you have something you can suggest to kind of help me get out of my own head, I'm open.
I would suggest, well, Yeah, I'm not going to volunteer for her, but if she wants to, she's going to put her name in the chat to do a quick, maybe like 15-minute call with you. And if she doesn't want to, then I will suggest somebody else. So, yes, beautiful. Awesome. All right. Let's see. We have Darby, and Darby, you'll be our last hottie seat contestant on the 250K Price is Right today. So
Great.
2 minutes to describe to us your challenge today.
Okay, thank you. So I am a veterinarian, and I transitioned out because I love business and financial topics fiercely. So I have been a financial advisor now for 14 years. When I started my career, it's very, very hard to get clients. It's very hard to, everybody needs financial planning and advising. They don't really realize it. Some do. So what I did is I started lecturing at vet schools. I'm a professor at 3 vet schools. And then I started this program where I meet one-on-one with new vets, graduating vets, and build a little free financial plan. That's awesome. But now I have a volume problem. And what I did is I built many, many, many clients. I have over 1,200 clients, little new baby vet grads. Problem is that I've been in the industry so long, and I'm very capable of doing very deep and complicated financial planning, and I own 2 huge businesses. So I do a lot of planning for businesses. I need to give away my baby vets to another advisor. That's a problem I'm trying to solve. I can't find anyone worthy of sitting with them. I have an endless pipeline of new prospects for an advisor, and it's amazing. I can't find one. So that's a challenge. I don't think I'll solve that today. But my bigger challenge is I have got to change my reputation and start accepting higher net worth clients, because I have people from all over the country asking for help when they're just, there's just nothing to work with. They're negative net worth. And so I really need to start attracting higher net worth clients, not just vets, maybe practice owners, but business owners. And I have a heart of a vet, and it's hard for me to turn people away and, and say, oh, you have to have a net worth of X amount. And I'm kind of struggling with how to do that gracefully.
Okay, so if I'm hearing correctly, what you would like to do today, let me ask the question. What would you like to help you solve? What one question?
I would like to figure out how to start screening people coming in needing help, and without offending anyone, saying, hey, you don't have enough money for me to work with, finding those higher net worth clients.
Okay, so you want us to help you with that, and not the problem of finding someone else who can work with this pipeline of vets that you have.
Yeah, that's just a matter of finding a really, really, really good advisor for that. So I just have got a reputation that I'll help all the kittens out there, and I can't. I need to start doing the more complicated planning.
Okay, sounds good. So ladies, we are asking clarifying questions for that. My first question, Darby, do you have an independent brokerage, or are you hanging your hat under someone else's?
I'm an independent advisor at North Star Resource Group. So
okay, so your RIA is North Star?
Yeah.
Okay. Amy.
Have you started asking the dames, high net worth advisors, what their screening process is? You have a lot of resources here.
Am I answering that, Megan?
Yeah, this is clarifying questions. So if you have an answer.
No, I just literally joined. This is my one of my first meetings.
Cool. So put that down as a suggestion, and welcome. Miss Tina, you're muted.
Two-part, what are your primary product lines? And how did you build your reputation to begin with?
So I work 3 areas. I do comprehensive financial planning, and I work with wealth management, asset management, and very fiercely independent with a few insurance products. So really comprehensive. And how I built my reputation is I was the only veterinarian financial advisor in the US for 12 years. And I lectured at vet schools, and then people matriculated into their careers. And so that's how I got well known in the industry.
So veterinarian, not
veteran.
veteran.
Branch out more than just vets too.
Did you say veterinarian or veteran?
Veterinarian.
Okay, that's good for us to know. We were all thinking that you were talking about veterans. So, all right, not all, but I was too. Thank you. Beautiful. Stephanie.
Do you have anyone that you can refer to? I know you said you were looking, but is there anyone that you could currently refer to that you would feel somewhat comfortable?
I onboarded 5 financial advisors in 2021 and they all flamed out. So no.
Okay. Just remember 2021 was a shit show for employees. So just keep that in mind. Could have been a 2021 fluke. Kat Stancic.
Have you already changed all your marketing, your positioning, and educated your referral partners and even your clients around your shift in positioning and branding?
Great question. I'm working on that. Yeah. Yep. Definitely. I've started to put the word out. I can't take on new small clients. They need to be, higher net worth.
And in terms of being able to put that out in your marketing, how strict is North Star? Are you able to actually declare who your target audience is out there in your marketing, or do you have to just be there with anyone who has a pulse?
I do have a securities license, so it's very strict what I can do. So the good news is my broker dealer is calling it quits after 200 years. We're moving to a new broker dealer that's a little bit less strict, so I can have a lot more marketing opportunities.
Okay. Nancy Eppert, fellow financial.
Yes, another financial advisor. Do you anywhere have a stated minimum, or can you start doing that? Like mentioning in your marketing materials, do you have a stated minimum? And are you giving up on finding a junior advisor?
Great question. I don't have a stated minimum because I never wanted to do that. I have recently interviewed for the last 4 months 2 new advisors. One just said, no, thanks, she's staying with Northwest Mutual. The other hasn't decided. So I'm still doing that vetting out work and looking for advisors. But yeah, I don't have a minimum. And I think that's the part of my heart that bleeds for the people who really, really, really need help. And I just need to get tough and say, I'm sorry, I'm not taking on new clients unless they have a certain net worth.
I'm gonna give us 2 extra minutes to do more questions. Becca.
Do you have this type of client that you want right now? I'm assuming you have this client because you want this client. And how did you find that client or get that client? The ones that you're aiming to get?
Yeah, great question. I do have a lot of high net worth clients. These are people who are in retirement selling their businesses and practices, and asking for referrals is really the best way to do that. I just want to put it out there that, I need to keep seeking high net worth clients, busy, complicated planning clients.
And I guess who are you asking referrals from?
That's the challenge. If I ask for referrals from some of these new vets that are negative net worth, they give me other negative net worth,
Right.
colleagues. And so I'm trying to ask my high net worth clients for their referrals.
Stephanie Gunther.
Quick question. What percentage are you wanting to stay in the veterinary space versus any others, or is it still 100% veterinary, just upscaled?
Yeah, great question. I have a number of clients that are not veterinarians, and I teach a retirement planning course at a local community college, so I get there. So I would probably say I have 80% vets, 20% other business owners. I'd really like to expand my other business owner category.
One more question. Tina Dietz.
In the world of veterinary, there's obviously businesses that have much higher net worth, large animal, racehorses, all kinds of things. Do you have connections in those realms that might allow you to leverage your experience as a vet, but penetrate into higher net worth echelons of the veterinary space?
Yeah, that's a really great question. I do speak at conferences nationally, and I'm asked to speak a lot, and then of course the vet schools, but that doesn't help me. That brings me more new baby vets, if you will. So mostly just industry. I publish a lot and speak at conventions. The problem is who comes to the veterinary or the financial talks are very few. They go to the medicine talks.
I'm going to repeat your first question, which was, how do I screen people without offending? So I have to ask one question, which is, how are you specifically allowed to screen with regulations?
I can really ask the questions, and I do have a confidential information form that people fill out. The challenge is that I just haven't really developed the language saying, sorry, oh, hey, I see that you make so little money or whatever. I just haven't gotten there yet.
Okay, so are you allowed to put like a form on your website that would ask them questions that they'd be able to answer before you get on a call with them? Is that allowed?
I'm not 100% sure, but that's I'm gonna do that, ask compliance if I can do that.
Okay, cool. All right, ladies, let's move into suggestions. Darby, I'm going to mute you, love. Miss Jen Köken.
Yeah. Do you know who Dr. Judy Morgan is?
No questions, Jen. Let's just
Well,
tell. suggestions.
Okay, so she's a old friend of mine, but she's very big in the veterinarian space. She has like brands of dog food and cat food and huge follower. But if it's helpful for me to connect you with her, because I don't know if she's looking to hire you, but she may know like where does she traffic and where does she make other connections to those kind of bigger name veterinarians. So if that's helpful, just let me know. And then the other thing I was going to say, which is something Megan taught me, is that for my strategic roadmap calls, I do have a Google form that asks people their revenue. Now, the other questions on there, are you ready to make a commitment right now? But the revenue piece is important. I know getting on that call, I want to provide value, but I also know if it's not a fit, and I'll send them a resource. But I'll just say, based on our conversation, it's not a fit until you have that other financial planner to refer that person to. You know, I think it'd be a better fit with Nancy, for example. I'm going to send you her way or what have you. Then I would simply say, it's not a fit for me to work with you, but here's 2 resources kind of thing. You know, and I don't think there's any shame in that game at all, because that's up to you of who's a fit for you. But I think those screening questions are important. And I'm happy to share the Google form that Megan actually made for me 5 years ago that I still use.
So, Hillary Dolby.
Jen took part of mine, but what I was gonna say is the cats in your house have to be taken care of before you can take more new cats in. So that's taking care of yourself first. So if you need to have higher net worth clients to continue your personal revenue stream, you got to do that. I don't know enough, but my one thought would be is, do you have to have one specific person? Like, are you trying to grow your practice by adding people, or are you just trying to get rid of younger, smaller net worth clients? Because you could have, here are 3 resources that I trust. Pick one of them. Then you're not responsible for whether that was a good person or not. You are saying, here are 3 good people that I know of and they can select. And then the last thing I would say is, you can very much say, here is who I help. You just have to do the wording and don't say it like a CFO, which is, you don't make enough money, I need more, because that, you know, that gets you into trouble. So, you know.
Yeah. Kat.
There's a languaging piece. You kept saying, I need to. And there was this like really deep desperation, frustration, anxiety, all of this like lack energy that was around that. And so I would look at maybe shifting that and seeing how to get into abundance and then tapping into your marketing, because if not, it's kind of like cancer. People will feel it. They won't know how or why, but they just will. And I mean, stepping onto Christine's domain here, so I'm not going to go deeper into that. The other piece that I would look at is, I know that you guys being in your space, there's a lot that's dependent on referrals. And I would actually get ahead of your marketing and look at how you can get in front of your people. So finding a marketing strategy that's in alignment with your strengths, whether that's speaking, podcasting, workshopping, whatever that is, and leveraging that, because it's not just about the one referral stream. You want to have multiple marketing streams, because those lead to revenue streams as well.
Awesome. Nancy. Effort.
Yes, I keep moving when I go to unmute myself. Anyways, one of the things I would suggest when you're talking with people, new people that come in, and you can get to the point and say, I would love to talk to you. This is what it takes to work with me. I'm assuming you're charging for your financial plans. So you just say, okay, to work with me, if you have someone who's just starting out, they may not have a lot in assets, but say it's going to cost you $2,500, it's going to cost you $5,000 for me to do a plan and help you with your goals. So you can do that. And people that don't have any money and don't want to pay you, they're going to go, well, I can't do this. Maybe I'll come see you later. So, you know, you can establish it. You can listen to them and talk with them and say, this is what I can do to help you, and this is the cost.
Yep. Okay, we only have like 2 minutes left. Becca. Oh, you're muted, hon.
Okay, so I heard you say at the very beginning and you kind of pushed it off a little bit. I know I'll just find someone that can take this on. But now listening to everyone and you again, you seem very confident. You know these clients, you know where they are, and you know how to get them. And it might be blocking you that you don't have. So reprioritizing to that person to refer your smaller clients to, if you felt confident, it would be a service. It'd be like, oh, I'm going to actually refer you to this person. So reprioritizing back of finding that great person, because once you can say no, then you can say yes to the bigger net worth clients.
And to piggyback on that, there's a whole network in the dames that if you get clear on who you're looking for to refer those people to, we can either, there's a dame who could do it, or there's a dame who knows a dame who could do it. So I too think that you're just hiding behind that for some reason, and it's okay, but there's a big opportunity for you there. Stephanie Gunther.
I was just going to say quickly, I know that there are people that specialize in like medical practice brokerage and things like that. So you might look into just like if there's other people aligned in that veterinary space, and even like conferences or shows of some sort, or places where you could really get in as a speaker and just be in the same space as those people. I would definitely be focusing on trying to find those aligned people and or spaces.
Yeah, one thing that I heard that how many people in here have heard from every single financial advisor that they know that they want high net worth individuals as clients? If anyone, every single person. So that's great and all, but what is it that you're passionate about? What is it that actually differentiates you and distinguishes you from everyone else? Because everyone else is going for high net worth individuals, everyone. So what's more important is what will you do for them? Who is it that you want to do it for, and what will you do for them? Because we can target anyone and everyone with a pulse, and that's the most ineffective way to market on the face of the planet. So my question is, if you've got this whole audience of vets and you're the expert in the vets, start using language. If you're not passionate about vets anymore, great, don't do this. But whoever it is you're passionate about, you are the expert. You define yourself as the expert. You position yourself as the expert. And I only work with those vets who have been in business for 10 plus years, have 10 or more employees, have, a practice that generates more than $1 million in revenue, whatever it is that you want to use. You just have to get clear on who they are and how you're going to talk to them. They will come to you. And then have that person you can refer to, that when those others who aren't ideal come to you, you can say, here's my trusted resource. But you have everything you need within you. It's just about letting go of the stuff that doesn't work for you and embracing the stuff that does. All right, ladies, this was amazing, wonderful, beautiful. What a killer hour. Woo! So beautiful. Yes, we need some hearts around here. That's a good thing. I love it. Some big hearts. Love you, ladies. This was wonderful. Darby, did you want to say anything there at the end? You good? You're muted. I had to mute you, so just unmute.
Okay. No, I want to thank you all. My problem is I'm very passionate about business and practice owners. I just have too many clients. I have way too many. So I'm trying to give them away, and these are really great suggestions. I just need to get in front of the ones that are more complicated planning.
Yep. Just decide who they are and be able to describe them in a way that they can recognize themselves from the outside. Because I don't know if I'm a complicated person for you to plan for. Neither does Stephanie, neither does Julie, none of us do. So saying that doesn't really help us get clear. So help us be clear as your power partners on who we can refer to you, and we will do it.
Awesome. Thank you.
Awesome. Beautiful, ladies. Have a beautiful, wonderful day. And hopefully the chat is saved. So if anybody wants to ask me afterwards for the chat, I can, because there's been a lot of great suggestions there too. And if you have other suggestions, feel free to reach out to the ladies who are in the hottie seat. Thank you all. Have a